Come to me, we're all going to die. They were lucky, yet the trauma remains. The Israelis say we are terrorists, but we haven't done anything to anyone. We haven't fired any rockets. Scenes of destruction also in central Gaza City. Bombed out buildings and shattered lives. Some people still camp out amid the ruins where their homes once stood. Palestinian sources say some 2,000 apartments were destroyed. For Israel, this was collateral damage caused by its attacks on the infrastructure of Islamist Hamas militants, which Israel says used civilians as human shields. Mohammed Abu Safia had his apartment here. Now he doesn't know where to go. So far, no one has offered to help. I collected these things from wherever I could. Now I sleep here. Hamas is calling the ceasefire a victory for them, which these motorists also insist. But most people are simply exhausted and want peace. Mohammed Mikdad is a dentist in Gaza City, where the building next to his was destroyed. He says, if elections were to be held here, Hamas would lose heavily. Because the people have suffered so much. Today, he's brought his children to the park, away from the destruction. There, volunteers try to take the kids' minds off what happened. In Beit Lahia, Hamed Mansi worries about his youngest daughter. I've noticed that she's suffering from some kind of shock. She does strange things. My neighbor said I should bring her to a psychologist. He adds his only wish is for her to have a good and normal life.
You're watching DW News. Still to come. 1 year after George Floyd's death, activists in the United States continue to push for change, and they say the authorities have failed to tackle systematic racism. It's to Madagascar now, and a deepening humanitarian crisis. The island south is experiencing its worst drought in 40 years. More than 1 million people are in acute danger of starvation. Humanitarian workers are already operating in the region, but a lack of supplies has them scrambling to provide even the most basic food assistance.
Amy Neumann-Vollmer has endured a few strenuous and challenging weeks. The French-born GP, who works in Lake Constance, has just returned from a mission for Doctors Without Borders in Madagascar. The situation there has worsened dramatically. People are dealing with the most extreme drought there in 40 years. In this southern part of Madagascar, it's already extremely dry. Then these sandstorms cover everything with sand. The light is also so sandy it shimmers everywhere. For the million or so people affected, this drought means one thing: hunger.